伊拉克共和国位于亚洲西南部阿拉伯半岛的东北部，与沙特阿拉伯、科威特、土耳其等国接壤。伊拉克所在地历史悠久，是两河文明的发源地，石油工业是其经济支柱。伊拉克的原油储量排名居世界第4，仅次于委内瑞拉、沙特阿拉伯和伊朗。伊拉克与中国建交于1958年8月25日，两国党政民间团体来往频繁。现如今，随着“一带一路”倡议的不断落实，国际合作的不断深入，伊拉克已成为“一带一路”倡议的重要组成部分。那么，是什么让伊拉克对我国保持着高度的政治认可？又是怎样的互利互信，一直推动着两国关系的不断发展？本期节目，让我们走进伊拉克，通过伊拉克驻华大使艾哈迈德·贝尔瓦利的讲述，去了解中伊两国之间源远流长的邦交历史，领略“一带一路”倡议下两国的灿烂明天。伊拉克有着悠久的历史，两河流域是世界古代文明的发祥地之一。公元前4700年，这里就出现了城邦国家，苏美尔人、阿卡迪亚人、巴比伦人和亚述人都曾在这片土地上创造过灿烂的文明。由此诞生的诸多历史文化遗产，仿佛夜空中的点点星光，坠饰着这个古老而美丽的国度。
Well, if you go back to the history, you would discover that Iraq, or the people, lived in this part of the world which calls Iraq today. They were the people which lived in this area for 6,000 to 7,000 years. It means they had also the chance to exchange culture and trade with neighboring countries, with neighboring people. If you see the geostrategic location of Iraq, you know that if you would like to cross Asia to Europe or to reach North Africa from Middle East, you have to go through Iraq. And therefore, the location of Iraq was very important for trade routes crossing the Middle East. It means the land Silk Road, one of the routes went through Iraq and Basra in the south of Iraq. You know, Iraq, we have access to the Arab Gulf, and therefore Iraq was a part of the maritime and land Silk Road. China and Iraq, people of these two countries, they can approve a history of 3 to 4 to let me say 5 to 6,000 years. And I think the people living in these two countries, they are the oldest civilizations on the world. Of course, the Iraqis say that we are the oldest, and the Chinese say that they are the oldest, but never mind. The exchange between China and Iraq goes back to thousands of years. And in Iraq, we have not just one civilization. There were many civilizations in Iraq, started from the Sumerians, the Akkadians, the Babylonians, and the Assyrians. At that time, it means 3,000 years before Christian, till the Abbasid side, the Islamic time in our area, was Iraq a pillar of civilizations in the area. And China also, in the same time, could, during the history, approve that were big civilizations, and therefore they were exchanged between China and Iraq through the Silk Road, through the maritime and the land Silk Road.
以我国的故都西安为起点，沿着丝绸之路向西行数千公里，就到了当时伊斯兰世界的中心巴格达。这座繁荣典雅的城市建于公元762年，被人们称为世界之城、和平之城。 两座世界名城相隔甚远，但通过两国人民的文化交流与通商贸易，架起了一座跨越时空的桥梁。在巴格达开放包容的氛围下，学者、科学家、哲学家汇聚于此，让这里一度发展为世界的文化中心。现如今，汉语热的世界风潮同样影响着伊拉克。学习汉语，到中国去学习知识与技术，已成为伊拉克政府培养人才、加深与中国民间往来的一个重要途径。
Historically, and especially after the Iraq became a part of the Islamic civilization, especially during the Abbasid time, which called the golden area of the Islamic civilization with its capital in Baghdad. Baghdad was a world city at that time for trade, for science, and for culture, and therefore used to have good relation with one of the oldest and world cities in the world at that time, Xi'an, the capital of the Tang dynasty. And there is many descriptions about this time, especially by Arab Iraqis, Arab historians, about the exchange between the Abbasid dynasties in the 8th to 10th century after Christians. It means 750 to 950 in our time, and the exchange between the two parts of the world, let me say, two civilizations, was not limited to trade, also to science, and according to Middle Age Arabic books, our people in Baghdad was not just interested to know how to do business with China and to exchange science, let me say, materials, but also they were very interested to have information about the religions which were at that time common in China. As example, Confucianism or Taoism, and also Buddhism also. And therefore, the exchange of trade and culture between China and Iraq is proved historically, and especially at the time of the first and second time of the Abbasid period and the Tang dynasty. Yes, of course. There is hundreds of Iraqi students, as example, are studying here in China, and the cooperation between the universities in China and Iraq is not according to our expectation, but have been started in a good manner. We are Iraqis. We have to rebuild not just our infrastructure, we have also to rebuild our human resources also, and therefore we are very happy to get the chance from China to send our students, send our professionals here to get training, and in all fields, let me say. We have people now, maybe hundreds in China, taking the advantage of the high education systems and the trainings capability of China to take advantage. And especially in the fields of IT, engineering, natural science, and many different fields also. And we have also students which are very happy to learn the Chinese language, because the language is the instrument, the more important medium to cultural exchange between the two countries. Therefore, both of us, China and Iraq, we are encouraging our students and people to learn the language of each other.
伊拉克的经济支柱是石油工业， 其原油储量排名居世界第4，仅次于委内瑞拉、沙特阿拉伯和伊朗。在2003年爆发的伊拉克战争中，中国以不干涉他国内政的外交政策为核心，坚持反战立场。战争结束后，中国以远低于西方国家的利益要求，与伊拉克达成了石油领域的合作。到目前为止，中国已成为伊拉克石油领域的最大投资者。与此同时，中国也一直在帮助伊拉克建设因战争而被破坏的基础设施。正是因为中国的这些善意的举措，让伊拉克与中国的联系越发密切，成为最先响应“一带一路”倡议的国家之一。
Well, for us in Iraq, well, we were always politically, economically, and culturally close to China. And if you see the history and the development in China, especially after 1949, you know that China developed a foreign policy with the principles of non-interference of the issues of other countries. And that is very important for countries like Iraq, which has suffered, as I told you, from not just wars, from occupations, and political difficulties in the last centuries. And everybody knows China is the second biggest economy in the world, and maybe could be the first economy in the coming 30 to 50 years. And to be a partner to a biggest economy in the world with a foreign policy which is conducted by China with non-interference in the issues of other countries, and in the contrary, to help countries to develop its economies and to give it the opportunity to stay in its own foods without any interest. It is something unique, and therefore we are supporting China. Of course, our expectation, we would like that China could play a more active role in our region, not just economic and cultural role, also a political role. And of course, it's not very easy for a country to follow a policy of non-interference of the issues of other countries in the same time to be active. But in this regard, we are asking China to be more active in our issues, because we believe that the foreign policy of China couldn't harm the countries in our region, and therefore we are asking and welcoming China to be more present in our region as a friend.
基于此前的友好合作，伊拉克共和国总理海德尔·阿巴迪于2015年12月22日应国务院总理李克强邀请，抵达北京，对中国进行为期2天的正式访问。这是阿巴迪自2014年9月就任以来的首次访问。正是这次访问，建立了中伊之间长期而全面的能源合作战略伙伴关系，由此中伊合作迈上了新的台阶。习近平总书记在与阿巴迪的会晤中赞扬了中伊关系的发展，并表示，新的战略伙伴关系将为今后的关系发展提供坚实的基础。
Well, I think the relation between the two parts of these civilizations has continued through the civilization which has been established in Iraq and in China, and especially during the Abbasid time and after that also. If you would like to talk about the new history of Iraq, we are celebrating this year the 60th anniversary of the establishment of the relation between Iraq and China. It has been started in 1958, and since then the relation between the two countries is friendly and very deep. And despite the difficulties which Iraq went through in the last 30 years, the different wars, the international sanctions, and the big change in my country after 2003, China, the Chinese people, and the Chinese government stood to Iraq, and the relation between the two countries economically and culturally hasn't been stopped during these difficult times. Today, Iraq and China witness a strategic partnership. In 2015, during the visit of my current Prime Minister, Mr. Abadi, we have signed a memorandum of understanding between the two governments to highlight the good relation between the two countries and to evaluate the relation to a strategic partnership. At the same time, during the same visit in 2015, we signed a memorandum of understanding and we have accepted to be officially a part of this big initiative which has been initiated by His Excellency, the President of the People's Republic of China, Mr. Xi Jinping. As I mentioned, historically, the relation and the links between the two countries were not just economic and trade relations, and therefore we are also interested to continue the economic relations between the two countries and also the cultural exchanges. China today is the biggest trade partner of Iraq. In 2017, the balance of the volume of the exchange between the two countries were 22 billion US dollars. What is very important and positive in this volume of exchange, it is balanced. It means the volume of the trade going from Iraq to China and in the contrary is balanced. At the same time, Chinese companies, the majority of the Chinese companies are governmental companies. It means the Chinese government are supporting Iraq in the rebuilding of its infrastructure which has been damaged because of the wars and then the sanctions. Chinese companies are the biggest investors in the field of oil. Iraq revenue, more than maybe 90% of our state's revenue coming from selling oil. And therefore, oil sector is for Iraq vital. And China is supporting Iraq to update and rebuild this field. And of course, China is not just in this field active in Iraq. Chinese companies are helping Iraq to rebuild its infrastructure in many different sectors. As example, energy, electricity, it means communication, transportation, and many other fields. It means we are very happy to be a part of this initiative. This initiative, as you know, it is not a bilateral initiative. It means for us to be a part of this initiative, it doesn't mean that we take advantage of the capacities and possibilities which a country like Iraq could take advantage from a partner like China. But in the same time, we believe that this initiative pave the way for the countries which are part of this initiative to talk to each other, to try to solve their difficulties through dialogue. And therefore, especially in the Middle East, our region, which is suffering from different conflicts. And therefore, we believe that this initiative could also give us a chance in the Middle East, a possibility through common interest and through dialogue to resolve our problems.
在伊拉克面临经济危机之时，解决融资瓶颈是深化经贸合作的关键。通过“一带一路”倡议的支持与合作，伊拉克目前已成为中资企业开展对外投资合作的热门市场，并被众多金融机构纳入重点支持国别。可以预见，中国不仅将继续在伊拉克的战后经济重建中发挥积极作用，“一带一路”倡议也将在世界开出更丰硕的果实。